Good morning all. Today I am discussing developing organizational culture. So how to develop organizational culture? So the organizational goals are established and reviewed periodically through the participation of all individuals and group in the organization. First you have to decide the organization goals and also established and reviewed periodically. Then we have to discuss in the groups and also individuals. So after approval of from all the persons, then we finalize what are the goals and so what is the organizational culture. So then we are framing the organizational culture. Then decisions are made at the appropriate level in the organization by the people who must live with the decision. Okay, so who must live with the decision. Then decisions are made at the appropriate level. So at the organization level, all the decisions are made at proper level. That means appropriate level. Suppose the power is the decision making power is having which person, that person only taking the decisions. Okay, so normal employee is not taking the decision. Okay, so the manager level or the senior level people are only taking the decisions. So behavior is supportive of the organization's goals and purposes. However, that another important thing is the employee's behavior is suitable to the organization goals and also supportive to the organization goals. Then next point is the organization is supportive of the needs of the individual employees. And after that, the organization is giving some support to fulfill the basic needs of the individual employee. So because everybody needs something, so already we are discussing the needs theory in the motivation. So in the needs theory, there is a physiological needs, psychological needs, and self-fulfillment needs. Okay, there are three types of needs are there. So after fulfilling of all the needs, then only the employee will be satisfied and he improves his productivity. Okay, then individuals and groups show high levels of trust and respect for other individuals and groups. Okay, so individuals and groups show high levels of trust. After fulfilling the needs, everybody, suppose the individuals and the group of the people are showing the high levels of trust and respect for others, individuals and groups. So they are respecting each other and they are also committed to work. Then next one is superiors and subordinates have a high level of trust and confidence in each other. Okay, so then the superiors and also subordinates are sharing the trust with each other. Suppose the superior is trusting the subordinate and also the subordinate is put some trust on the superior, and also there is both are having confidence on each other. Okay, so each other they are trusted and also each other they are also having the confidence on each and every each vice versa, that means superior and also subordinate. And after that, cooperation and teamwork exist at all levels in the organization. Okay, so after that, cooperation and teamwork exist at all levels in the organization. So there is a cooperation between the team and also there is a coordination between the team. After that, then only the teamwork will be successful at all levels in the organization. Then next one is methods of reinforcement used are primarily rewards and participation. So after that, methods of reinforcement used are primarily rewards and participation. Okay, so automatically, so suppose you have to reinforce anything, that means you have to put some force, additional force on the anything, then that is it leads to a primary rewards, and also those who are interested to participate, then you have to give some rewards also. Then individuals are cost conscious, so every individual is focusing on cost. Okay, so based on the cost outside, suppose if you are purchasing some vegetables, suppose the vegetable costs are very high, and also the suppose your grocery cost is also very high, the prices are increased, suppose the petrol and vegetables and oils and all the things and all are increased. So nowadays, suppose if you are getting the low salary, so then how you are sustaining in your life? So that is another problem. That's why everybody is a cost conscious, and messages move upward, downward, or across the organization as needed to get information to the appropriate places. Okay, then messages move upward and also downward or also across the organization as needed to get information to the appropriate places. Okay, so the communication is always is in a good manner, and the communication is move upward and also downward and also across the organization. So then only the communication is very good in the organization. Then subordinates accept downward communication with an open mind. So subordinates also always having the downward communication, because what the superior is said, then the subordinate is followed. Okay, so then if the suppose there is no chance, there is no chance to upward that means upward that means the what the subordinate is said, then there is no chance to take it into the consideration of the superior. Okay, so only the problems of the employee is only considered, so remaining things are not considered from the subordinates. Okay, then next one is the changes are initiated to improve performance and goal attainment. Then after that, changes are initiated to improve performance and goal attainment. So if you are suppose if you are if you want to change something, then also if you are improving the performance and also goal attainment, then for all these things there are some changes are initiated. Then changes are received and accepted openly. So suppose we are accepting the changes. Okay, so and also we are receiving the changes openly. Okay, so there is no restriction for the changes. Then individuals speak with pride about themselves and their employer. Okay, so every individual must speak, suppose they are speaking about they are said something about their themselves and also employer. So my employer is very good person, and also I am also very good recognition in the organization. So they feel some proud about their position in the organization and about their employer. Then the time individuals spend performing task is related to the contributions of the tasks toward the achievement of the organization's goals. Okay, after that, the time individuals spent performing tasks is related to the contributions of the tasks toward the achievement of the organization goals. Suppose what the time is invested invested by the individuals, and also the time spent by the individuals, that complete time is utilized for the achievement of the organization goals only. Okay, then every task is towards the achievement of the organization goal. Okay, then individuals are motivated through employee enjoyment from achieving the organization's goals. Okay, so every individual is motivated and also is uh, enjoyed the working from achieving the organization goals. Okay, then conflict is seen not as a destructive force but as a potentially constructive active. So the conflict is, suppose is there any conflicts are arising, then it leads to some destruction, it creates some disturbance in the organization. Okay, that's why we are focusing on how to resolve the conflicts as early as possible in the organization. Then next one is the concept of organizational climate. So now we are talking about organizational climate. So I am completing the organizational culture. So then now I am discussing about organizational culture. So sorry, organizational climate, that means the environment of the organization. Okay, so climate is nothing but environment. Okay, so the organizational culture and organizational climate are sometimes used interchangeably. So both are used interchangeably. Some important differences between these two concepts have been recognized as separately. So but some of the differences are there. So now we are discussing about what are the differences in between that. Then whereas organizational culture is concerned with the nature of beliefs and expectations about organizational life, climate is an indicator of whether those beliefs and expectations are being fulfilled. Okay, so whereas organizational culture is concerned with the nature of beliefs, okay, and expectations about organizational life, but the climate is an indicator of whether those beliefs and expectations are being fulfilled. So organizational culture is full of the expectations, beliefs and expectations of beliefs of the employee. Okay, that means organization life. Okay, so an organization, suppose what is the beliefs, only they are focusing on that. So after that, how to fulfill the beliefs and expectations of the employee, that is nothing but organizational climate, whether it is fulfilled or not. Then basically organizational climate reflects a person's perception of the organization to which he or she belongs. So basically organizational climate reflects a person's perception. Okay, so of the organization reflects a person's perception to which he or she belongs. Okay, then organizational climate is a set of characteristics and factors that are perceived by the employees about their organizations. So how the, suppose according to the employee side, employee suppose in employee's view, how the organization, so whether the organization is comfortable to the employee or not, whether he, suppose the environment is good for working, suppose there is a good environment uh, in the organization or not, so there is a comfortable environment is there or not. So these are the perceptions based on the employee. Okay, so different perceptions from the employee side, because every individual has their own individual perception. Okay, so every employee is not suppose same perceptions. Okay, so each and every employee having the different perceptions. That's why you have to consider all these things, then which serve as a major force in influencing their behavior. Okay, so the organizational climate is reflecting or showing an impact, shows impact on the individual behavior. Okay, then these factors include job description, organizational structure, performance and evaluation standards, leadership style, challenges and innovations, organizational values, decision making process, motivation, communication, goals, control processes, and so on. Okay, so in the organizational climate, there are the factors, some of the factors are there. So job description means what is the, suppose in suppose after getting the job, so what you have to do, that is job description. So what is the role of the employee and what is the qualifications of the employee. So all these things are mentioned in the job description. And organizational structure, whether it is a matrix organizational structure or whether it is a some product organizational structure or it is a line organizational structure, so you have to clearly mention in that. And performance and evaluation standards, so and how you are evaluating the performance of the employee, and we are how we are know the standards of the employee. So all these things. And the leadership style, which type of leadership style the organization is followed, whether it is a democratic leadership style or whether it is autocratic leadership style, so you have to mention it. And then challenges and innovations, and what are the challenges in the organization, what are the innovations are there in the organization. And after that, organization values, and every organization having some moral values and ethical values. So, suppose in this organization, what the values are they are following. And after the decision making process, another important thing is the decision making process, how we are taking the decisions. And particularly for this organization, what type of procedure they are following to take the decision. And after that, motivation. So is there any motivation for the employee. And communication, so how the communication is going on, and is there a good proper communication or not. And then goals, what type of the goals are there, and what are the goals are there in the organization. And after that, control process. So after that, what are the control process, what are the, suppose how we are controlling the employees and how we are controlling the organization. So and these factors are all included in the organizational climate. Okay, then organizational climate can be said to relate to the prevailing atmosphere surrounding the organization, to the level of moral and to the strength of feelings of belonging, care, and goodwill among members. Okay. So, organizational climate can be said to relate to the prevailing atmosphere surrounding the organization. So, organizational climate is also based on the surrounding organizations. What are the surroundings of the organization? What is the climate atmosphere of the surrounding of the organization? Under to the level of moral and also to the strength of feelings of belonging, care and goodwill among members. So how we are caring with the suppose goodwill of the organization, also how the employees caring about their members. Okay. So and what are the feelings of the employees and also what are the feelings of the management. So and what type of moral they are having. So all these things are affecting the organizational climate. Then according to Taiguri and Litwin, organizational climate is relatively enduring quality of the internal environment of an organization. Okay, so is experienced by its members. So organizational climate is experienced by its members. And second one is it influences their behavior. Organizational climate is influencing the behavior of the employee or not, and it can be described in terms of the values of a particular set of characteristics of the organization. Okay. So the organization climate can be described in terms of the values of a particular set of characteristics of the organization. So what type of values the organization is following, that is very, very important thing. Suppose the organization is following the good things, then ultimately the employees are also trying to follow that things. Okay. So if you are following the good things, the employees are also following the good things. Suppose the organization following the bad things and also they are also following the bad things. Okay. Then according to the Hodgetts, he has classified organizational climate into two major categories. Okay. So he has given an analogy with an iceberg where there is a part of the iceberg that can be seen from the surface and another part is that is underwater and it is not visible. Suppose if you are seeing the iceberg in the sea, then some of the part is only visible by the human eye and some of the part is in the under the sea. So under the sea you are not seeing. Okay, so you are only seeing the visible part which is in the upper part of the sea. Okay, then the visible part that can be observed or measured include the structure of hierarchy, goals and objectives of the organization, performance and standards and evaluations, technological state of the operations and so on. So suppose what part you have to see, suppose you have to consider as iceberg. So what part you have to see, that is nothing but the part is having some structure of hierarchy and goals and objectives of the organization and performance standards and evaluations and technological states of the organization. All these factors are, all these things are clearly visible by the every employee. Okay, then the second part is this is not visible because these are all not quantifiable, not measurable, and includes such subjective areas as supportiveness. Okay, and employees' feelings and attitudes we are unable to see with the human eye, and values and morals and personals and social interaction and subordinates and superiors and a sense of satisfaction with the job. These are not seen by the human eye. These are not visible. Okay. Values are not visible. Attitudes are not visible. Feelings are not visible. And also supportiveness is not visible. And coordination is not visible. And satisfaction is also not visible. So these are the inner part. That means if you are taking the example of iceberg, the upper part is first one and the second one is the lower part. This is the lower part. Okay, so under the sea. Okay, so in this way the Hodgetts categorized into organizational climate is categorized into two parts. Okay, then dimensions of organizational culture. Okay, so we have different types of dimensions are there. So what are the dimensions of the organizational culture? Then there have been many studies on dimensions of organizational climate. Such studies have helped us to understand what to influence organizational climate. Okay, so Likert has proposed 6 dimensions of organizational climate. So what are the 6 dimensions? Are leadership, motivation, communication, decisions, goals, and control. And based on the Litwin and Stringer, they are giving some dimensions: conformity, responsibility, standards, rewards, organizational clarity, warmth, and support and leadership. They have also emphasized motivational framework of organizational climate. Okay, so this is the motivational framework of the organizational climate. What is the framework is? In the framework, one of the important thing is achievement. So achievement means concern for excellence. Okay, that means achievement means you have to, suppose you are achieving your task, you are completing your task and you are getting the result, then you are achieving your task. Okay, then next one is expert influence. Okay, so expert influence means concern for making impact on others. So how we are impacting others, your attitude, with your attitude and with your behavior, how we are influencing. Okay, so then extension, concern for others and for macro issues. So how we are concerned, how we are treating others, then how we are reacting with other person's actions, that is extension. Then next thing is dependency. So how we are depending with others, suppose the employees are depending with each other, that is the another thing. And affiliation, so concern for building and maintaining close personal relationships, that means how we are affiliating with, suppose how we are coordinating with other, and we are, and how we are maintaining with relationship with others. And on the basis of review of various studies and discussions with managers, Parikh has identified 12 process of organizational climate. So based on the study of Parikh, okay, he is identified 12 processes of organizational climate. One is under this, one is orientation. So orientation means priority of members may range between consent to adhere to established rules to concern for excellence and achievement. Okay, so priority of members may range between consent to adhere to established rules. Okay, so that means priority of members, how we are giving the priority and how we are creating awareness to the employee, and excellence and achievement. Okay, so and how we are establishing the rules for the employee. The next one is the interpersonal relationships. So suppose the relationship between the superior and subordinate is a good or not. Suppose we are maintaining the good relations with the employees or not. Then the superior is treating the maintaining the good relation with the subordinate or not, and also the management is maintaining good relationship with the employees or not, then you have to consider all these things. Then next one is supervision. Supervision means depending on supervisory style, the climate may be extension. So depending upon the supervisor behavior, the employees are suppose the behavior of the employer is also depending upon the supervisor's behavior. Suppose he is behaving ruthlessly, then ultimately the employees are getting unsatisfaction, then they are demotivated, they are not working in a good manner. Okay, so then after that problems. So problems may be taken as an opportunity or irritants. Manager may solve problems alone or jointly by the superior at the subordinates. Suppose if there is any problem, then the manager is taking initiative and immediately resolve the problems. Then next one is management of mistakes. So management of mistakes means attitudes towards mistakes may be of tolerance or of annoyance. Such attitudes contribute to organizational climate. Okay, so management of mistake, that means from management side there is some mistakes are there. Then you have to try to avoid that mistakes, and also you have to tolerate the some small mistakes. Then after that, conflict management. So conflict management means conflict, how we are handling the conflicts and how we are managing the conflicts. Then suppose the management is effectively manage the conflicts, then ultimately there is no chance to deviation, and there is a positive environment in the organization. Then next one is communication. So communication means a direction, disbursement, mode, and type of communication influence climate of an organization. So suppose you are maintaining the good proper communication channel in the organization, then it leads to a good environment in the, it creates a good environment in the organization. Then decision making. So suppose you taking the taking the decisions without any delay, then ultimately it creates a good environment in the organization. Then trust. So you are creating some trust to trust on the employee. Suppose you have to try to create trust upon you from the employee side, then the employee is always uh, uh, shows some trust upon the management. Then you have to create that trust. Okay, then from the management side, that is one of the important thing. Then management of rewards. So management of rewards means the management is giving some rewards and awards to the employees, those who are working in an efficient manner. So then it creates a positive environment in the organization. Then risk taking. So that is very important thing. So risk is always there. So it is an important determinant of climate. Okay, so it is a very important determinant of climate. So depending upon the risk, the climate is also affected. It shows impact on the climate also. Then next one is innovation and change. So innovation and change means styles of managing change and innovations are critical in establishing climate. Okay, suppose some of the innovations are introduced and all some of the changes are introduced, so that is also showing impact on the organizational climate. Okay, so these are the factors are important, dimensions are very important in the organizational climate. Okay, that's it.